Welcome back. You're listening to Tracks and Turns. We're back from the Hungarian GP qualifying.
Yeah.
And we wanted to talk a little bit about, quali. I think in the beginning of this session, there wasn't really much to talk about. There were a lot of people losing times, like times being deleted. So I think that was also something that we're starting to think, like, to be concerned about for tomorrow.
Yeah.
If people were going to get track limits violations as well. But I don't think there's very much to add for this session. It was quite uneventful, to be honest.
Yeah, true, the first one.
So the people who went out were Behrman, Sainz, Albon, Stroll, Bottas, and Perez. Which I think we have something to talk about here.
Yeah.
Which I think we can jump a little bit forward with this. But yeah, Alonso being able to get through Q1.
Yeah.
And to actually, he ended up in the same position in Q1 as he did in Q2 eventually. But yeah, managed to get through Q1, whereas Stroll was in 20th. But I don't think Stroll is maybe as good of a, representation of the car. So I'm always looking at what Alonso can do. So I'm thinking 16th feels optimistic for tomorrow.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
But we won't know anything until we've seen the actual race pace as well. Is there anything else? I think we already discussed how Behrman continues on this bad form. I feel like he's
in Cadillac, of course, being really slow.
Yeah.
They need an upgrade.
Actually, the fact that Stroll was in front of the Cadillacs as well, 2.3 seconds behind Norris in the session, whereas Bottas was 2.6 seconds behind.
Yeah.
I think that also says a lot, seeing as we said Stroll was maybe not the best representation.
True.
The fact that he can even get beyond the Cadillacs and actually, it feels like they have improved. But at the same time, I think we're kind of comparing with Spa last week, and it's a much longer track. So, yeah, we'll have to see about that. Should we move on to Q2?
Yeah.
In this, there were still this has also been a thing that has been happening because we watched a little bit of practice as well, and I think a lot of people have been going off as well.
Yeah, as we said.
And going wide and I'm a bit concerned. As we saw, Hadger went off, which caused a yellow flag, and some people weren't able to improve.
True.
So, yeah, both, I think, Antonelli and Bortoleto lost their times. And I think Antonelli crucially lost his time with about, 2 minutes on the clock, which I think we started to get a bit stressed about this. But in the end, he managed to get into 8th and ahead of Russell for the Q2 session, so he was fine. But yeah, it was looking quite dire for a while there. So the people who went out for this session was Lawson, Gasly, Colapinto, Bortoleto, Ocon, and Alonso. And I think we're not really used to seeing Liam being in the elimination zone for Q2 now, because we've been so used to Liam and Arvid being in the same vicinity.
The same session.
So yeah, he was of course then pushed out by Hulkenberg in the Audi.
Also interesting that Hulkenberg out-qualified Bortoleto for once.
Yeah, it feels like that's happening less and less.
Yeah.
So, I want to see what Hulkenberg can do as well, because, of course, as we've said in earlier episodes, he still doesn't have any points.
Yeah,
so it would be redemption to be able to get some points in the race. I don't know if I believe that, but yeah, let's hope for his sake.
Yeah.
In Q3, then, we had a lot of controversy, it feels like. There were a lot of people flip-flopping, I feel like. It's been looking like it might be Norris, and at times it's been looking like it might be McLaren or Hamilton who were, gonna take pole, and then Antonelli was doing, pretty good. Because, of course, Hamilton was ahead after his first lap. because Norris has had some sort of a correction that cost him time.
Yeah.
And then they went out on the second run, and here Hamilton and Leclerc were like way behind. Like we were looking at times and being like, this is crazy. And we heard the commentator say that Kimi was the only one improving, and we're like, is this it? Is this where like Kimi's gonna outperform everyone here? But then right as this like wraps up, Max spins off. Which this is the second time this year that this happened. So, I don't know. I started to wonder if they had like put back the Macarena wing or something, because like I don't know. It's not like the car is not supposed to do that. But yeah, after this, they threw a yellow flag, of course, which affected Russell, but not only Russell. I think maybe Antonelli as well, as we also saw. I think it didn't affect Kimi as much as it like should have done, because of course we saw him get a penalty, which I will get to that later as well. True. During this yellow flag thing. Also, Russell parked up on the on the straight, which was looking really strange in that session, but I think I read that he had some sort of water leak or something, because it was he was struggling with grip as well, which would make sense if you get water all over your tires, that you would be struggling with grip. But like if we're talking about the way that people qualified, it was Norris, Hamilton, Leclerc, Antonelli, Piastri, Verstappen, Russell, Hadjar, Lindblad, and Hülkenberg. But the thing was, seeing as Kimi got his penalty for essentially driving too fast during the yellow flag, he was demoted down to a position behind Russell. And I think that was 3 positions, right? And then Hamilton was also... he got a pen
for impeding Oscar.
Penalty. Because we were talking about this as well, because Oscar and Kimi were basically, I think, the people who hadn't finished their laps. And I was saying like Oscar went out last, so I'm like thinking maybe he can do something here, like maybe not outperforming Norris, but like being in the like close to maybe Hamilton and Leclerc. But he didn't manage to finish his lap, because I think Lewis had finished his lap and he didn't know that there were any people on fast laps behind him. So he essentially by accident blocked Oscar. So in the end, the starting order for the race tomorrow is going to be Norris, Leclerc, Piastri, right? Norris, Leclerc, Piastri, Hamilton... No, Verstappen, Hamilton, Antonelli... No, Russell, Antonelli, Hadjar, Lindblad, and Hülkenberg. So I'm excited to see the fight. Like is Leclerc gonna do anything to Norris on that first lap? Are the McLaren as competitive as like they are looking right now? Like we don't know with all the upgrades and stuff. We talked about before this. Of course, I don't know why I put Kimi first in my predictions, but we talked about the fact that maybe this was not the strongest track for Mercedes. So a lot of talk has been about McLaren and especially about Ferrari. So we'll have to see what happens up there. Also interested to see Max be so far up. Also, I think another thing to talk about, like Russell once again having issues with his car.
It's a pattern.
And Antonelli being so far back, because that's not what usually happens. We could get a really interesting race. Like we could maybe Hamilton could gain some points on Antonelli in this race.
Yeah. Also, I think it's interesting that Norris is the first car, besides the Mercedes car, to take pole this season.
Yeah.
Like he breaks the pattern.
Literally, such a good job from Norris. Has been looking like the stronger McLaren, of course, for this for this weekend, but I think, or for this season, if I'm honest. But yeah, really impressive. Hopefully this is gonna like transfer into the race as well. We're gonna see like McLaren being okay.
Yeah.
Unless their car just breaks down like it usually does. But yeah, I guess that's everything I think for this session.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to
No.
add? No. So we'll see you guys after the race.
Yeah.
Hi guys, we're back from the Hungarian Grand Prix. This was a race that, like, there was really, like, due to strategy, but also due to some other unforeseen complications, there were a lot of, like, swapping and switching and people doing undercuts and overcuts and, yeah very interesting. But also, I think we got teed up to this action already in the beginning because there was a lot happening in the start, which I think that, like, we've had a lot of, like, active starts this year.
True.
But, like, this was something else because I almost lost count of who was where.
Yeah, it was really much action, especially in the start.
Yeah, you had... I think Piastri improved one position. He took one from Leclerc because of Leclerc's bad start. And then Hamilton and Leclerc were fighting.
Yeah.
They almost sandwiched Max. Max and Lewis had contact as well.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we saw that moment where Lando went wide. And Oscar managed to somehow keep the line. When you saw that his onboard, like, he had some sort of, I think, oversteer or something as well. So that could have ended so badly for both of them had he just gone a little bit more to the right.
Yeah.
So I'm, like, happy that he managed to keep it on track.
And also, like, from being at the start 2 Mercedes in front of each other, we only had 1 Mercedes left, which was Kimi, because Russell went into some anti-stall situation.
Yeah, we were trying to, like, figure out who it was. In my heart, I think, because, like, of course I don't wish any ill fortune on Kimi, but I just kind of wish that it was Kimi.
Yeah.
know? But then we found out that it was George.
Because we wanted, like, an even championship.
Yeah, now he was, like, at the back.
Yeah.
Like, literally at the back. Which, I don't know. But we'll get more to the championship at the end of this review. And we'll talk about all of the implications of whatever happened in this race as well. Should we, like, follow the path of, like, the fight between the McLarens first?
Yeah.
Should we go down this route? This route, I was gonna say. So, yeah, Oscar was in front of Lando for quite a bit of this race. Like, in the beginning, he was, like, pumping in fastest laps. Like, he was looking really convincing.
Yeah.
And Lando was, of course, struggling because of the dirty air. But all of a sudden, like, the distance between them shrank. Like, it had been going up until, I think, about 1.5 or 1.8 or something like that.
Yeah.
Close to 2 seconds. But then it started shrinking again because, Norris was going... I don't think he was going at this point as quickly as how he was going to go later in the race, but he was going quickly, of course.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Oscar said, like, the tires feel good, like, he was looking, okay. But I think the issue for Piastri's race kind of started, like, the misfortune kind of started already after the first pit stop.
Yeah.
You know, because he ended up stuck behind Hadger.
Yeah. Who was helping his teammate Verstappen.
Yeah, and I think he was also just driving
Yeah,
slowly. So, like, Piastri got stuck behind there, and I think Norris had just pitted. So Norris and Verstappen were right behind him, which, like, this created a really close battle.
Yeah.
But somehow, I don't know, he just managed to keep them behind. And I think at this point, they were more concerned about Antonelli, I think.
Yeah.
Because they were talking about the fact that he might do 1 stop, whereas I think the plan for McLaren was always going to be maybe the 2 stop. But all of a sudden, once again, like, it turns because Lando started to put in faster and faster laps. But he was also doing, like, he was having a lot of mistakes as well. He was except for that first slide in the corner in the beginning, he was also sliding a lot, going into the gravel, I remember. So I was a bit scared that he might be over pushing, and I was like thinking that this might benefit Oscar in the end.
Yeah.
But then Oscar reported that his rear tires were starting to go as well. And like he was saying that when they asked him to like pick up the pace, he was saying like, well, I don't have any pace because they had switched tires and this tire type was just not doing anything for the car. Like it was really inconsistent, he said. I remember. And this is, I think, where we get... I think this is where Norris said that he's... Like, he said something that he's faster. Like, could he not, like, go past or something like that? And then they reported back to him, and they were like, Lando, we can't do that. Which he got a bit frustrated.
Yeah, of course.
Do you remember what he said?
Didn't he say, like, you mean you won't let me... I'm miles faster.
Yeah, it was that, and then also I think he said that he, like, even though he had, like, his tires were burnt out, he was going to be able to pull out, like, a gap if they let him pass.
Exactly.
But yeah, this is, I think, has been, a contentious issue. Like, when you think back to last year, they were quick to do team order sometimes, and maybe it didn't pan out the way they wanted. So maybe in this case they decided that they need to figure this out on track, which I think that didn't really present any problem, because then of course Piastri pits, and Lando gets free air, so he just starts hammering in laps. Like it was crazy, considering that he had such old tires on. Like he was just
flying.
Yeah. Whereas Piastri had gotten into some, he had fell back obviously because of the pit stop, but he was also catching up to some back markers as well. And this presented an issue because I think they also had struggles with the blue flags during the race. I think the system was not really working. And Oscar gets up behind, was it Fernando and Carlos?
Yeah, I think so.
Fighting for about last place or something like that. And just as Piastri thinks that, of course he has seen the blue flag and he has been told that I'm here. But no, Carlos just is following the racing line and just goes into Oscar without seeing him.
And this made Oscar upset, to say the least.
Yeah, but first can we just talk about, obviously deserved for Carlos to get a penalty for this.
Yeah.
You should be looking in your mirrors a bit more than, to not see. I don't know. And also I think if I understood this correctly, I think they had told him as well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
this
Oscar
was not
gets
a smooth operation.
A bit upset, which...
A bit.
I'm a bit upset.
I've never heard him saying things like this.
No, he just starts basically swearing and calling Carlos Sainz an idiot. Which I understand this in a way because they have the blue flag system in order to not get an issue where the back markers creates some sort of unfair racing for the front runners.
Yeah.
But I think we've also seen, since some of the tracks are really really small, we've seen sometimes that the back markers can't really allow the front runners past.
True.
So sometimes they kind of impede by accident because they can't let anyone pass.
Yeah.
So I think maybe the whole system is a bit broken. But yeah, this costs Oscar time, which I think at this point he was still behind Lando if Lando was to do a perfect pit stop. I think they said he was still a bit behind because he was not going Lando had made up time when he got free from behind Oscar basically. So Lando pits, and he obviously gets ahead of Oscar because Oscar has also had this incident with Carlos. But I think he would have probably managed to get past anyway. Like
True.
I think like he had pulled out such a gap that I think Lando would have managed anyway. And after that, I think regardless of any issues, which I think Piastri said that the car might be okay, but like regardless of any issues, I think Lando had it as soon as he got out in front of Oscar.
Yeah, true.
I think Oscar could have possibly defended had he like been like it could have been an interesting race at least, which is what I'm most aggrieved about, because like it's so sad that these back markers like would ruin such a moment. Like I'm really sad about that, because I really want to see Piastri and Norris fight like last year.
Yeah.
So this was kind of,
it's killed the vibe.
Yeah, it definitely killed the vibe. Yeah, and of course Oscar after this was also he was fuming, because I think they said that like this was science. Like the target now is just to finish the race, and he was like, I think he said, quote, I found it now, quote, "Oh mate, just don't bleep talk to me right now. Nice of you guys to factor that one in, by the way. Thanks." And I think this was just, even though I do not agree with the fact that he would be granted that position, because like he was still behind Lando.
Yeah.
Even before this issue. But like I understand that he got upset like kind of with the team, because no not with the team, with the whole situation, because he had been leading for such a long time.
Yeah, true.
I think it was about like 35 laps or something like that. So I think like he just felt bitter, obviously. But like I think the peril wasn't even over for Norris here, because like Piastri was charging up behind, I think it was Antonelli at this point, right?
Yeah.
And we were thinking that he was going to make easy work of Antonelli, you know. But Lando still had to think about the people who were actually behind, because at this point they thought Antonelli was on a one-stopper, I think.
Yeah.
So, like, he got messages like, avoid those lockups, like, they're gonna derail us. I also remember they said to Lando, you're clearly the fastest car, you have nothing to prove. Like many of those things, because I think he was pushing so hard that he sometimes overdid it. But yeah, then the race basically ends for Piastri as well. I think he couldn't get more unlucky, because the touch with Carlos, and then a couple of laps later he just loses the gearbox.
This is horrible. You were so sad.
I literally almost turned off the TV and walked away, because I was like, I had hope in the beginning, like in the first 20 laps, I had hope, and I even said to the TV, I was like, Oscar, don't you dare give me hope in a situation where you won't even be able to like finish or won't even be able to win. Be like, don't give me false hope.
Yeah, and I was like, you don't get to be this mad, because my favorite driver, Charles Leclerc, drove into the walls 2 times in a row. Literally. And I'm still here.
It's just so sad, because it's not Oscar's fault.
Yeah, true. I mean, Charles, it was Charles' fault.
Yeah, no, but it's not the same. It's not like he drove off. It's the like he got
the car just died,
driven into, and then even though they said that it might be like the loss of the gearbox, they said to Lando later, they said no exit curbs. That's maybe what happened to Oscar's car, like assuming that him hitting the exit curbs might be why he lost the gearbox. Yeah. So it might be Piastri's fault, but like even before that, he had like too many issues, too many things not going his way. So like, definitely not a good day to be Piastri
or a fan.
No. And yeah, after that, I think it was pretty smooth sailing for Norris at least, even though he was obviously anxious. Like, he told the team to keep an eye on punctures, and like all those things, because like there were a lot of debris on the track as well. But pretty easy. Like, Norris had been looking like the faster car. Like, nothing else to say about that, I think.
True.
Should we move on to Ferrari, because they were having an abysmal weekend as well?
Yeah.
Just, you don't even know where to start.
Yeah. Oh my god, they were complaining so much about like not having the pace.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what happened to the Ferrari they had like 1 week ago?
Yeah. Like, because like I also like they had a pretty bad start. They were fighting each other. I think Hamilton got past Leclerc.
Yeah.
Did he not? Yeah. And then he managed to undercut Verstappen, so he was looking like quite good for him. But then like a couple of laps later, they're passing Lawson, I think, and Verstappen just sends it on him. So all of a sudden he's like basically out behind Verstappen again after having an undercut on him in the pit lane. And Leclerc, of course, he was reporting. What was he even reporting? Like, what was he saying?
Wasn't they losing a bit of time? And he was complaining about it.
But like, what was the issue? Like, I don't understand. Like, because I remember looking at the time and I was like, shit. Oh my god, why did I say that? But like, you understand what I mean? Like, I was looking at Leclerc's time and they were just falling off like crazy.
And then he asked his like strategist if he could do something different. And the strategy. Yeah. And he answers, thinking about it. Like, where are you? Are you here in the race, or are you asleep?
They never have the solution for these things, because I think Charles was asking this because of course he was lacking so much in pace to the other people that he just felt like they had to do something else to be able to like do something. Which I think also Hamilton reported like he also said like they were. I'm thinking maybe it was degradation, because he was saying like, am I going to be in trouble at the end of this race? And I'm thinking, is it strategy, and like, had they thought about maybe a one-stopper? Because like this was quite strange as well. And then I remember Leclerc said, there's something that feels wrong with the car. And like, I think they reported overheating.
Yeah.
Which that also suggests like they were struggling with the balance of the like tires in that, like the window of the tires. I think like something was definitely not correct.
Yeah, true.
With how the car was working at this track, which I think since this is a track with a lot of corners, like it's very different from a track with a lot of straights, because like you take out different things. Like the car has to be adapted certain ways to be able to handle that. Because they ran a pretty straightforward strategy. I think they had, if I'm not mistaken, 2 stops, because they also stopped during the VSC for Oscar, I think.
Yeah.
Which is also something that was not good for...
Was it Oscar?
Yeah, I think so.
Couldn't it have been Perez?
Lap 57, I believe.
Yeah, it was Oscar.
Yeah, it was Oscar. Right. So, like, the thing is, with this, like, it was looking quite straightforward, and, like, they had to do 2 stops because, obviously, the tires were overheating or something degrading. And this is also where they did, like, a misjudgment, I think, at least for Hamilton's race.
Yeah. Because
he got out behind Antonelli, basically, because they like almost crossed the white line at the same time, but I think Antonelli was ahead, and then Hamilton like drove out in front of him, but then he gave the place back in case he would get a penalty here. Also, I think in the grand scheme of things, not good, because it cost him also speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah.
Because he got 5 seconds for that as well. So, like, should he not had gone in, he would have been ahead of Kimi without a penalty.
Yeah, without a penalty. But this is Ferrari.
But like they could have never known that. They could have at least never known that this was going to cost him a penalty.
Yeah.
But like, because that's on Lewis ultimately at the end of the day.
Yeah, true.
Or I think so, at least. We don't know if there was some sort of mechanical issue, but like, I'm thinking this is maybe driver error.
You know what I think? I think it was a strategist to just go, 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 screaming at him.
But yeah, definitely not well calculated when it comes to how close he was going to be to Antonelli.
Yeah.
True. That was not really the ultimate way to do that. So I don't know if it was just strategy that was the issue for Ferrari this weekend, but also they were nowhere.
Yeah. Why did people say like they were going to be so fast?
Yeah, I think we were just assuming because like they've been so good, and we were thinking that Mercedes were probably not going to be as good, which obviously we saw that, I think.
But also they qualified good Ferrari, but I don't know what happened in the race. I think we just
sounds
move on
like
from
overheating or degrading of the tires in some sense.
Yeah.
Should we move on to someone else who had a bad race?
Yeah.
Which I think that in this case, I don't know what happened really with Max. Like it feels like there's always something to complain about with the Red Bull car, but like he was complaining about shifts. He was like, "Don't tell me like you don't know what this is." Hamilton was reporting that Max was going really slowly in the beginning. He was reporting a lot of rear degradation. He also, since he managed to get past Hamilton, as we said, but like that didn't really, like, I don't know if that really did anything. So this beginning of the stint was like, it was so bad. Like he said, the shifts are pushing me straight on. Like he was having like issues with mostly everything. And then he asked about the switching to the soft tires possibly, because I think they were trying something else, but like they said that could be an option, and like I think maybe the harder tires were not really coping the way they should have, and I think I don't remember what he did here, but all of a sudden after his pit stop, I think a couple of laps later, like he was looking quite even. And they said, like, you might even have some fun toward the end, like, assuming that he was gonna be able to, I think, close the gap to, was it Kimi then?
Yeah, I think so.
Which I think, actually, when we look at it, like, Kimi was on a, we talked about this earlier, Kimi was on a one-stopper, basically, until I think lap 54 or something, because then they all of a sudden decided that he should not go to the end. And that he should go in and pit. But I think in the end this was the right call, because of course... No, I don't think it was the right call, because in the end he ended up behind Verstappen, right?
Yeah.
So, like, they were thinking that I think they reported, like they said on the radio, that Kimi asked which position he was after the pit stop, and then they said currently P6, potential for P2. We have a big tire offset, because they of course had a big tire offset to Verstappen, who had pitted on lap 41, I think.
Yeah.
But in the end, I think Antonelli didn't manage to get like close enough to pass him. So maybe that was like a misjudgment. Maybe he would have it would have been better with track position.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So like I think in the end Red Bull did what they could, the best they could with what they had, because the second place I don't think it was ever on their cards, which I think of course they were promoted a bit with Oscar's issue.
Yeah,
but like at the end of the day, what they did was perfect, even though Max was struggling.
Yeah, true.
So, but also it's Max. he has a way of like literally taking air and turning it into something solid.
Yeah, I mean, he complains of the car all the time and still he wins races. Not this season, but I mean past seasons.
Yeah. Although I think it's really bad right now.
Yeah.
Like literally, I think this might have been like the worst they've been for a while. Like literally.
Yeah.
Also interesting that we don't hear this amount of complaining from Hadjar, but we don't know if they are like if you saying these things over the radio, but we don't get to see that in the broadcast. But yeah, the max amount of points they could have gotten, I think, Red Bull, because they were obviously counting with like on Ferrari and Mercedes to be able to do something that they didn't. And yeah, of course, Antonelli. I don't know, the fact that he didn't. Also, I forgot to talk about this when we were talking about Antonelli. Actually, he also gained on Hamilton going into pit as well.
Yeah, true.
So like, if Ferrari hadn't decided to do that, he could have been fourth instead of third, which. That was really like good of them then in the end, like to not go in during, but they could have gone in during the VSC, but then he would have been behind Hamilton. I don't know, maybe it was good that he went in anyways, even though they basically lost a position to Max. Should we move on to the crash and burn part of this?
You mean Cadillac?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is yet another race where the Cadillac's boat that retired. Which is a disaster, to be honest. To like see that Aston Martin is faster than these cars
Not
now.
only faster, but like both of the Cadillacs retiring is just...
Yeah.
Like Perez, I think, didn't he have a suspension issue last weekend?
I don't know.
And I think he had it again. And Bottas, like, it feels like he's always having brake issues. Because that's also, like, the brakes were burning, I think. Again. And he went through the pit entry as well, so he had to close because he was, like, basically stranded there.
Yeah. And it's like this fantastic fever dream all over again every weekend.
But it's so sad also, like, to think about how many parts they've had to change, presumably on these cars. And they're just falling apart, bursting into flames. Like, the amount of money, and to not even score any points, to be, like, comfortably last. Like, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, we know that Cadillac is a new team. But, like, never in my life would I have imagined that they were going to be this horrendous.
Yeah, true. It's, nightmare.
And, like, I understand that Perez and Bottas were just happy to be back in the sport. But, like...
Yeah, they deserve so much better. I mean, they are good drivers. And, they need a better car if they're gonna compete. Because this is just them driving in circles and then giving up.
It just feels... I don't even have the words.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel dejected for them. Like, I just feel like... Why are they even there?
Like, imagine going to work and you drive, like, 4 laps and then you go home again. Like... It's not, I don't even know.
Imagine going to work and, like, you're only, like, the thing that you're trained for, you can't do, but, like, because, like, your computer is broken.
Yeah, and it's burning. Like, it's not even okay. It's not fair.
Okay, should we talk about, like, the standings? Or, like, not the standings, but talk about, like, what happened with this race. we had, for example, I think Lawson's highest finish. So I think, or this is right? Am I confusing myself? This is Lawson's highest finish.
Yeah, I saw something on that about that, which is crazy because he finished in 8th position.
Yeah, why does it feel like he's been higher up? That's Lindblad, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think he's been
7th,
maybe.
I think, yeah.
Because like I don't know. I just thought he had been higher up. Also, Hülkenberg first points. I don't think we had anticipated like that it would go this far into the season, but like anyways, congratulations, Nico Hülkenberg. Lindblad also scored points, so like they continue doing this or be like scoring points together like every weekend, feels like. Also, I think we should like take a few like a minute or something to actually talk about Aston Martin.
Yeah,
because like we weren't fully convinced, I think, after qualifying that this was gonna be like the improvement that we thought it was gonna be, like that it would be true representation.
Yeah.
Because like it was 16th for Alonso and I think it was like 20th or 19th or something for Lance Stroll.
Yeah.
But like we thought maybe this was not gonna like manifest in the race. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was just like the qualifying times. But actually in the end they managed 13th and 14th, which I think Stroll was behind Gasly with 10 seconds and Alonso was a couple of seconds behind Stroll. But I'm not sure about their strategies, of course. I don't know if that could have played into it. But it's going to be interesting to see if this was just track-specific like upgrades and that this is just this race, or if it's going to follow through the rest of the season. Because then they've actually made a step up.
Yeah, but it's also like impressive that Stroll is above Alonso.
I don't want to say anything because like I don't know what happened there. But yeah.
It's fun to see them fighting again, like for real.
Like, really, really good job being that close to 10th. Mm-hmm. Like, 13th is by no means far away.
Yeah, true.
Even though they were literally, what did I say? Like, possibly, they were... Could it be like 14 seconds behind Lindblad, I think, who was in 10th? Which is, like, 14 seconds is nothing.
Yeah,
they've been laps behind.
Mm-hmm.
They've been like 1 or 2 laps behind other times.
Yeah.
Or maybe not behind Lindblad, but like they've been at least I think 1 lap behind some of the midfielders sometimes.
Yeah, true.
So like that's a good step forward, I think, if this is to like mark what they did.
Yeah.
Also, I think this race as a whole was really, really good race. Like it was like we didn't know what to expect. Like who was gonna win, who was gonna be on the podium. Like it was changing all the time.
Much action.
Like
also,
even though, but I don't think there was a lot of action happening really on track. It was all the different strategies and undercutting and people deciding like different compounds and some tires coming back to life and people being in dirty air and back markers being in the way and like those kinds of things.
But it was also like divided during the whole race, so we didn't get like action just at the start, but we got like some action during the whole race.
It felt like it didn't really die out as it does sometimes, because sometimes it's just in the beginning and then it's nothing happening into the first pit stop, it feels like.
Yeah.
So yeah, certainly I think a step up in my opinion, as like when you think about the fact that Hungarian is not known for being like a track that's easy to pass on, and it might not always give so much action.
Yeah, true.
So I'm really happy about that. Should we move on to what happened in the standings with this?
Yeah.
I think the big thing to talk about is Russell falling even more behind Antonelli here.
Mm-hmm.
And also Hamilton, because of his was it 4th place now?
No, 5th.
5th.
Yeah, because he got the 5 seconds, which means he moved
behind Leclerc.
Behind.
So like he also lost points to Antonelli. So now between Hamilton and Antonelli, I think it's
50 points.
Is it 50 points?
Yeah.
Yeah, 169 to 219. Shit, that's crazy.
It's 2 like whole race wins where the other driver don't gain any points, basically.
I said do you remember this? I said this during the race as well, that I just felt like, or in that moment at least, when I was in my feelings, I said, Kimi has this.
I know.
I think
I just
Kimi
don't want
has
to believe
this
it
now. But like at the same time, you don't want to think that it's over yet.
Yeah.
I think like we have to remember how many races there are left. Actually, something to talk about. They've announced that we're gonna get like another race for Baku that we missed in the beginning of the year, basically.
Not Baku.
So no, Bahrain.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Baku is later. Never mind. I meant for Bahrain. So that I think they are going to put Malaysia between
Baku and Singapore.
Yeah. And I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Literally so happy that they managed to do this. So incredibly happy to see another race on the calendar, so we like get as close to what we were basically promised in the beginning of the year. Also interested to see what Malaysia is gonna bring.
Yeah, true.
As well. But yeah, we have to remember that there are a couple of I think a great handful of races left, and we don't have to give up just yet.
Yeah.
Like basically I think we're about halfway or something.
Yeah. Around that, yeah.
So like it's not over yet.
Well, so like I want Antonelli to win because that would be so cool. But I think maybe this is a hot take. No, I don't know. Maybe yeah. I want Lewis to win because I think this is Lewis' last chance to win the World Championship.
Ooh. I think now we're going to get people against you. No, but like I understand it in some sense. I feel like this is Kimi's season, so I think it would be really sad if he somehow lost this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also want to see Lewis get an 8th World Championship.
Or 9th. Depending on
and I understand what you mean, like he's not getting younger, so like it would, but it's looking more and more impossible now.
Yeah, I know.
He lost a lot of points to Kimi this race as well. And Kimi I think he just manages to get on the podium.
Yeah.
Like pretty consistently. So like I think it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, but like what if Lewis gets the win this year? Will he retire now? When he finally have his 8th or 9th World Championship? Or will he keep going? And if we just switch that up, if he doesn't get the World Championship
win,
yeah, will he keep driving to chase that World Championship?
I think he will. Like he's already committed to keep on going a couple of years, so I think it's not really a question of that. But yeah, of course we would like to see him win. It's just so sad that Russell is also now falling behind Hamilton, because now he's 9 points behind. Like he's falling more and more behind Hamilton, and unless he like literally shakes himself out of this, like I think it's really slipping away from him now.
Yeah.
Because like 59 points, is it? Like that's a big gap for two people being in the same team.
Yeah.
With the same car. And seeing as like how Kimi's form has been, like indeed. We also saw Verstappen pass Piastri because Piastri DNF'd again. Like, how many DNFs have they had this year? Like, it's crazy. And I said to you during the race as well, if McLaren keep this up, if they keep being this unreliable, like, they're gonna lose this championship. Like, not championship, but they're gonna lose to I think it is Red Bull that's behind them, right?
Yeah.
It's not like it's a big difference right now, or it's looking like a big difference. It's, what is it? I think 43 points, but like it shouldn't be 43 points.
Yeah.
Like they shouldn't have, like, it's at this point, like I don't trust them to win any race, like, because I just assume that they're gonna DNF. Which is why I'm so surprised the Lando won this one.
It's crazy.
Because, like, how have McLaren won a race this year? It's crazy.
I don't know. I mean, Max Verstappen haven't even won a race.
No. But yeah, so in the top 10, Lawson and Gasly have also switched places now, because Lawson has gained a point on Gasly as well. I don't see how that's really much of a, like, question mark. Like, that makes sense.
It's not so interesting.
Yeah.
Also, Audi passed Williams with 1 point.
Yeah. Which is really strange when you think about the fact that Nico's only scored 2 of those points.
Yeah. The 10 points Gabby scored. He's carrying the whole team on his back.
I didn't even understand the fact that Williams already have 11 points. Like, from where?
Good question. I believe it was the first races.
But, like, literally,
I don't know.
When have they scored points?
I honestly don't remember them in the top 10. And who of the drivers was it?
I think it was Sainz. He's probably done, like, one race where he took, like, 2 points.
Where it was good, yeah.
Or something. But, like, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Literally, how do they have 11 points? They're nowhere. And Audi feel like they plop into the top 10 every now and again. So it feels like they should have more than 12 points.
I think they should have more than Haas. Because what are Haas doing right now?
But it's Ollie.
It's Ollie.
He's been in the beginning of the year. Yeah, he was doing quite well in the beginning of the year. Now it's just fallen off. But, like, literally he was doing so well in the beginning.
He'll come back after summer break like a rocket.
Let's hope. Racing Bulls have also passed Alpine. Which, also not surprising when you think about the fact that they've been, like, within the top 10 consistently for a couple of races now. Also the fact that Aston Martin has a point is also also very interesting.
That is Alonso.
And it was not this weekend.
No.
Which is
that's even more interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Also kind of sad that Cadillac and Stroll doesn't have any points. But that's a story for another day, honestly. After the summer break.
Oh. And Mercedes, of course, they are starting to run away with this, because they are... Or starting, I think they've already been doing this for a couple of races. But yeah, 72 points is it, right? So, yeah. I think in a couple of races times, I think or that depends if Russell can just pull himself out of whatever hole he is in right now. Because if they consistently continue to be on the podium, both of them, I think they have this in the bag.
Yeah.
The constructors, definitely.
Also, I think they've earned it, so yeah.
Yeah, I think with the car at least. Like, it's been a bit unreliable at times. Not as unreliable as the McLaren, but, like, also, isn't Hamilton, like, also we said, I think this last week as well, Hamilton is yet to have a DNF.
Yeah, I think so. At least.
That's crazy. Why is it just, like... But also, haven't Ferrari had quite good reliability?
Except Leclerc, of course.
But
that wasn't the car, that was him.
I don't think they've had any issue. I don't remember them having any issues. Which is crazy when you think about it, because as we just said, they're 72 points behind Mercedes, who have, like, consistent... Like, they've DNF'd, I think, together, they DNF'd about 3 or 4 times. And Charles has DNF'd twice, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So that somehow doesn't track to me. Like, that just explains how bad Ferrari have been. occasionally.
they
sometimes
been
they've
on
been
the podium
like
every weekend,
in 6th or something like that. Also, like Hadjar once again being 6th is also something to talk about. Although he was 35 seconds behind Hamilton, but like anyways, like I'm gonna take that as a point, seeing as Russell was 2 seconds behind him.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening with Russell, to be honest.
I don't know either.
Like, I think he doesn't really get along with the car as much as he would have wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Which is certainly an issue if he's going to be able to fight for the championship.
He's in the hole right now.
So we'll have to see, I think, if he manages to pull himself out of this after the summer break. Let's hope he does.
He needs to.
Let's hope McLaren continue to fight at the front, because I had fun watching this race, to be honest. Felt like last year again. Yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to say about this race.
But should we move on to our driver of the weekend?
Maybe? Yeah, definitely.
Driver of the day.
Definitely. I think I've like emptied my just full race talk. Now we just move on to the
fun part.
To the fun part. I thought this whole thing should be fun.
Yeah, it's funny.
Okay, what did you say? Driver.
Driver of the day, right?
Yeah. Ooh, this is a hard one. Now I can't think. Like, now I'm just lost.
You can pick from a couple of drivers, of course.
Yeah. Like, Lando, I think, deserves a shout out for managing to, like, turn the disadvantage from lap 1 into a win.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he'd been looking quite fast. Of course, he got the pole.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not really surprised about that. Although it was a crazy drive, he finished 15 seconds ahead of Verstappen in the end.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to give it to Norris then.
I think mine is going to be Antonelli, after all. I mean, he got that penalty, which means he started... Did he start 6th position?
7th? Right.
Yeah, behind Russell. And then he managed to climb during the race and end up in 3rd place. Which obviously he has a better car. But also, I think he did... Yeah, he did good.
Also, to be fair, Verstappen also deserves a shout out.
Yeah.
Because, like, literally driving when the car is that bad, and also managing that really crazy overtake on, like, Lawson and Hamilton at the same time, kind of. And also, like... But also at the same time, he started... What did he start? 4th? Or something? So, like, basically... yeah, it's obviously an improvement, but yeah, I think Norris drove crazily. And
also, like, also shout out to Russell, seeing as he went in this anti-stall situation and he managed to even, like, climb many positions and end up in the points.
The fact that he actually managed to bag some points here was really interesting. Really interesting? No, it was, like... Impressive, yeah. But also, like, the fact that he was behind Hadjar just feels a bit like he could have maybe pushed a little bit more.
Also, shout out to Hulkenberg for gaining 2 points. Honestly, I'm going to give all people shout outs because...
No, but we said Norris. I said Norris and you said... Antonelli. Should we move on to the radio of the day maybe so we stop yapping?
Oh my god. Which am I going to pick? Okay, so my radio of the day is when Lewis' strategist said, and we got 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and Lewis said, hey, handing out penalties like crazy? Which was, it was just kind of funny thing to say.
Like, it was not like he was almost angry, he was like a comedic comment.
I was gonna say he was happy, but that doesn't make sense. It was just
but it was just funny. Like, I don't know what was happening in his brain, but like he didn't sound angry at all.
Yeah.
For some reason. Okay, so mine is definitely gonna have to be Lando's. You mean you won't let me? I'm miles faster.
He's so dramatic.
It just feels like a bit like a child, you know, when they're like, well, I'm the fastest.
Yeah, I know. Oh my god.
And yeah, it was fun to see him like talk back to his engineers, I guess. Okay, so for you said
incident.
Yeah.
Of the day.
I forgot. I just lost what we did before this. Incident of the day.
Yeah, I think mine have to be both Bottas and Perez like retiring from the race because it's just horrible. I mean, there wasn't really an incident, but this is just like this big nightmare that we all have to like survive. Yeah. And I'm tired of it.
Do you want to guess which mine is?
Yeah, it probably was Carlos racing Oscar. Or whatever they were doing. I don't know. Kissing.
Yeah, I don't know what was happening there. I think they still have beef from, like, wasn't it last year when they were, like, or no, the year before when they were, like, going into each other and stuff. I don't know. And they were, like, they were sounding in the interviews, they were sounding a bit, like it had beef.
Spicy.
So, yeah, definitely the touch between Sainz and Piastri.
This is gonna be a new, like, band, the Spice Boys.
So we'll have to see if they've mended that when we come back for the next race.
After the summer break.
Yeah, after the summer break. 4 weeks from now, I think.
Yeah.
Zandvoort.
Yeah. Max
so
home race.
Yeah. That's going to be interesting to see.
The place where Max rammed into Kimi last year.
I think
it was.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. Was it?
Yeah.
No. It was Kimi ramming into Max. That
was Austria.
Oh, I don't know. I'm lost.
Wasn't it?
Yeah. Zandvoort was when Charles sat on the hill with his phone upside down and Lando DNF'd for some reason.
Oh my god, the pain.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway guys, we'll see you next race.
Bye.